And soon the entire world will be talking about the new Fantastic Four. Quote, Mr. Fantastic, Big Brain, what if, Volume 1, Issue 6, what if the Fantastic Four had different superpowers? As the Fantastic Four descends to foil the impending heist, Johnny Storm flames flickering around him, grins mischievously, and poses a question that cuts through the tension like a hot knife through butter. Like why those cosmic rays affected each one of us in a different way, and what might have gone down if somehow we all had gotten different powers altogether. Indeed, a youthful Johnny Storm possesses valid questions, and there are answers. Though these answers may remain forever unknown to the Fantastic Four, what would have been the result of the Fantastic Four acquiring other special powers? Before answering that question, we must first examine the origin of the group as they are, and return night some years ago at a spaceport on the outskirts of the central city. To beat the communists in space, scientists Reed Richards' sister and brother, Sue and Johnny Storm, and pilot Ben Grimm sneak around the rocket. Ben had warned the others about needing sufficient shielding for cosmic rays, but Sue, challenging his courage, persuaded him to fly. In space, the four are bombarded by cosmic rays. The autopilot lands the ship back on Earth, where they find themselves physically transformed and possessing remarkable new abilities. Sue can turn invisible. Ben has transformed into an orange muscular thing with super strength. Reed's body became highly malleable, allowing him to stretch into any shape. Johnny's body bursts into flames and he can fly. They decide to use their abilities to become the super team known as the Fantastic Four. They give themselves the individual names Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Girl, Human Torch, and the Thing. When four people pilot a starship into space, they were exposed to cosmic rays that mutated them. Their personality traits affected the ways in which they were mutated. Ben Grimm, who had always loved flying, became Dragonfly. Reed Richards, dominated by his vast intellect, became Big Brain. Johnny Storm, fascinated by things mechanical, became Mandroid. And Sue Storm, whose pliable personality allowed her to adapt and mold herself to fit with her more dominating friends, became the Elastic Ultra Woman. They agreed to use their powers for the benefit of humanity, becoming the Fantastic Four. The four encountered and triumphed over Mole Man, the Skrulls, the Miracle Man, and Namor, much like their Earth 616 counterpart. They next drove off a demon from the Neverworld, attempting to steal the modern-day Merlin Stone. By doing so, they attracted the ear of Dr. Doom, who had summoned the demon. Investigating, Doom discovered that Big Brain was his old college rival and decided that Richards would be manipulated to help Doom complete a time machine to travel into the past to obtain the Merlin Stones, which they were at the height of power. To do so, Doom capitalized on the fact that Reed, a disembodied brain, Sue had begun to grow ever closer to Ben. Doom infiltrated the Baxter building and convinced Reed that he could help him regain a human body if he would aid him. Big Brain willingly entered a transport tube and was trapped by Doom, who fought off Mandroid as he tried to stop him. As Doom prepared to use Big Brain's psyche energy to power his time machine, the rest of the Fantastic Four fought their way into Doom's castle. Reed managed to generate a psychic blast that gave Doom a pause long enough for the rest of the team to make their way into the chamber. But as Doom's metal-gloved hand reaches for the machines, Master Switch, what's this? Let's just say the cavalry just arrived. We have warned you in advance, Doom, but bugles are scared in this dump of yours. Maybe so, kid, but there's plenty of these King Arthur-type weapons lying around, and I'm about due to try out this here mace. Hurry, he's about to do something to Reed. Not if Benji can help it, doll. And while I'm at, let's find out if Doom's armor is dent-proof. Guess it is. Fools, you might have stunned me with that blow, but do you really think so archaic weapon could even scratch the secret alloy of this armor? Okay, so Dragonfly, struck out, big deal. Think so, robot, then utilize them. But Sue and I have a few tricks up our respective sleeves. That is if you can. I'll try to cushion your body, Johnny. Ugh, if I knew just what kind of energy Doom's throwing at us, then I could adapt myself to absorb it. And sis, you okay? Ultra Woman only collapses under the force-thrown Mandroid, a diversion which permits a third member of the team to go into action. Didn't like having to leave Susie and the kid back there. air. Okay, Flyboy, it's yours. Shout out, but what are you gonna do? But now might be the only chance I get to save Reed. Ugh, no good. Looks like it'll take somebody stronger than me to lift this fishbowl out of here its base. But maybe if I can lift the blooming thing, I can bust it. And seeing how I still got Doom's little nutcracker, put down the mace if you value your life. Oh, give me a break with the melodrama, Doomsy. I suggest that before making any puny attempts at mockery, Grimm, you first evaluate your qualification. It is a counter to Laverian protocol to mock one's betters. You got a big mouth for someone under the fright mask of yours, Doom. Well, let's see how those metal PJs stand up against a guy who's also metal on the inside. Your constant attempts at heroics are beginning to bore me. Though I'd admit you intrigue me with a master of robotics, I'll be most anxious to dismantle you. And as you Americans say, what makes you tick? Keep your mouthing like that, miss, and I'll make you wasting you that much better. You shouldn't have hurt my sister, because now you've made me mad. Mad is correct, my metalloid Foyd, for only I, Madman, would twice go against my force field. Except this time, I'm going to slug that force field inside. I'm letting Doom make the first move and let my fist be a target. I just hope to God this works. An impressive bit of strength, Mandroid, though you paid a severe price. Yeah, well, it was worth it, an arm to cripple that armor of yours and short-circuit your fancy gizmos. All right, Doom, do we finish what we started the Baxter building? Only this time, let's make it without the gadget. Just you and me, man to man. Indeed, let's finish it. But you'll find there's enough power still remaining in my damaged armor to dispose of the likes of you. Shocked senseless in the blast of the Mandroid, never sees his attacker's beam begin to fade, then vanish. But I revived Sue Storm has seen and reached the obvious conclusion. Your power is completely exhausted now, isn't it, Doom? Ultra Woman attacking me with a body inflated many times its normal size. I was careless. I should have watched her. What you shouldn't have done is hurt or kill my brother. For that, you're going to pay. I grow weary of hearing your threats from those who cannot back them up. You are still dazed, Miss Storm. You should have waited before attacking, because now I can deal with you with a simple lash of my bare hand. And just to ensure that you don't really recover and you use your powers against me, I dispense raising my hand against a woman, but she's left me no choice. Susan, darling, perhaps the sigh of the beloved falling is sufficient to enable the brain of Reed Richards to lunge against the glass, even as his former colleague continues his brutal attack. And with every vicious blow, Richards' brain literally pulsates with rage, crackles with energy, emotions aroused by conflicting emotions, love and hate. Then, still throbbing with the previous latent energies of his mind, Richards perceives a nearly exhausted figure. I've defeated all the Fantastic Four except one. So shall we continue as we were before we so rudely interrupted? No, Doom. Ah, mental blast, yet more potent than that of any of you dealt me before, and I can increase the power 3 times, Doom. Ugh, the torment, almost too much to stand, but I endure if I shall, for I am Doom, must fight the pain, struggle to reach my control panel, move a few inches more, and no, Doom, don't press it. And though Big Brain tries with all the mental force of his disposal to dominate the mind of his cloaked adversary, Victor Von Doom pushes the button. For a while, there is a stillness, and there's still a figure star from dispersing smoke. Hey, there's something moving in the wreckage, and it looks like, at first, there is an instinctive reaction to attack the armored figure who arises before them. But then, wait, all of you, I'm not the real Victor Von Doom. I'm Reed Richards. Just before the explosion, I managed to send my mind into Doom's body. Quickly, his known ledge of intimate details of his companion life convinces the others that he speaks the truth. It is Reed. It's fantastic. Well, why not? He was the big brain of the outfit, and we're the Fantastic Four, right? And so the Fantastic Four restored intact to the world, even as the menace of Dr. Doom fades forever into the shadows of history. Sue, it was you who gave me my new name. From this day forward, I will be Mr. Fantastic, and soon the entire world will be talking about the new Fantastic Four, as indeed they are. You, reader, are probably asking yourself, did this Reed Richards and Sue Storm find each other again as on your own Earth? Could Sue come to love a man whose scarred face is hidden for all time beneath a metal mask? Your own realities, Thomas Lynch once wrote, a strong and beautiful soul will show itself such, though it's a body be feasible such as ungraceful. Whatever their fate, the choice is theirs to make. My fate is merely to observe, not to influence the lives of such as they. I am, and ever shall be, the Watcher. Note, in the alternative reality, Mr. Fantastic was transformed into Big Brain, which is also one of Ben Grimm's favorite nicknames for Reed Richards of Earth 616. Next issue, What If, Volume 1, Issue 7. What if someone else besides Spider-Man had been bitten by the radioactive spider?